You can always tell a deal is healthy when the board is writing love letters, the rival bidder is doing a hostile tender offer, and Netflix is standing up in court like, well, Your Honor, we had to buy Warner Brothers to compete with, YouTube. Yes, the same YouTube where a guy in Crocs reviews gas station nachos in 4K and gets 12 million views. Meanwhile, a major WBD shareholder just basically said, hey, Paramount, yeah, your bid is a little messy, but it is fixable. Let me translate that for you. The Netflix deal is not the done deal you were promised. Welcome to the corporate Hunger Games, folks. What's up, critical nerds? Welcome back. If you're a returning subscriber, you already know we're here to translate Hollywood corporate speak into plain English. And if you're new, welcome. This channel is where we take the glossy press releases, peel them like a banana, and throw the peel directly at the executives. Today, we're talking about the Netflix WBD deal that's been in the news for the last, 10 days or so, or 2 weeks. There's been some activity here in the last couple of days. We got a big shareholder basically telling Paramount, try again. WBD's board dropping an inferior offer, you misled people letter like it's a diss track, and Netflix doubling down and claiming they need WBD to compete with, of all things, YouTube. If that sounds insane, well, it's because it is. Just a quick favor, though, if you guys would, especially if you're new here or if you're returning and you haven't yet, give me a hand with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube loves engagement. So if you would, just smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode of Succession, but make it dumber. So here's the first crack in the Netflix already won narrative. A WBD shareholder named Harris Associates, they've got about a 3.9% stake, came out and said they'd be open to considering a revised Paramount bid. That's a big deal because it tells you what's happening behind the scenes. Shareholders are looking at Netflix's offer and thinking, okay, is that the best we can do? And they're looking at Paramount's hostile bid and thinking, this might be a little bit higher, but it is a little messy. Reuters reports the Harris portfolio manager basically said Netflix's terms look more favorable right now, but Paramount's issues are, and I quote, fixable. In other words, Paramount, if you clean up your financing story and make it less of a ransom note, you've got a shot at this. And this right here is why boards hate shareholders. Because shareholders have a superpower called, we don't care about your feelings, we care about the number. And that's where this gets spicy, because Paramount's headline number is the kind of thing that makes people's eyebrows do the wave in real time. Like a $108.4 billion hostile takeover. WBD's board is trying to corral everyone back to the Netflix deal like, nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Everything's totally fine. But when a big holder goes, Paramount could fix it, that shareholder speak for, hey, we're listening. Keep talking. Now we got to talk about the board letter, WBD's board letter, because really. WBD officially urged shareholders to reject Paramount's tender offer and said the Paramount bid is not a superior proposal compared to the Netflix deal. They call Paramount's offer inferior, packed with risks and costs, and this is the key line, WBD claims Paramount has misled shareholders about the financing / backstop. That's not a normal corporate disagreement. That's boardroom MMA. And here's the part that matters for regular humans who don't speak legalese. Paramount is saying $30 per share, all cash, for the whole enchilada, everything. WBD is saying, and the certainty is questionable, the financing is a little risky, and you're overselling your support. WBD's investor relations post repeats that the board views Netflix's combination as superior and more certain value, meaning we think Netflix closes. And you can't ignore the vibe here, because if the Paramount bid was truly dead on arrival, you wouldn't need a scorched earth letter. You just do the corporate version of keep it moving along. But they didn't. They went full, this offer is inferior, risky, and you're also lying. That tells me the board is trying to control the narrative before shareholder momentum builds. Because once the shareholders start smelling blood in the water, it's over. They turn into bargain hunters at Best Buy on Black Friday. Now for the funniest and most important part. Netflix told its employees its position on the WBD deal is unchanged, and they're staying the course even after Paramount's hostile bid. And in that same reporting, Netflix basically frames the whole move like, yeah, we need Warner Brothers to compete with YouTube. I mean, I'm not making this up. Netflix's argument goes like this. Well, roughly goes like this. YouTube is huge in US viewing share. Netflix needs more scale. Buying Warner Studios and HBO Max and the entire Warner library helps them compete. Now, Reuters reported numbers like YouTube around 13% US share versus Netflix moving from 8% to 9% after the deal. But here's a plot twist. Antitrust experts aren't sure regulators will buy the YouTube is our competitor framing in a merger review, because YouTube isn't the same product. YouTube is not HBO. YouTube's not a film studio. YouTube is not Game of Thrones. YouTube is a 19-minute video titled, I ranked every frozen pizza while my dog judges me. And the DOJ might look at that and go, sir, that's not in the same market. So Netflix is threading a needle here. They want the deal. They want to calm investors and employees. They want to pre-bake the antitrust defense. Meanwhile, Paramount is lurking in the corner like the ex who just happened to be at the same restaurant. Oh, wow, you're with Netflix? Crazy. Anyway, you up? And now you've got shareholders like Harris basically saying, Paramount, you can make this work if you fix the terms. So here's the nightmare scenario for Netflix. Regulators start leaning hard. Shareholders start asking if Paramount's higher number is worth the risk. WBD's board has to keep selling certainty while the room gets louder. This is why Netflix is shouting YouTube from the rooftops. They're trying to widen the competitive landscape in the regulator's mind. It's like telling your spouse, hey babe, I didn't buy another gaming PC to play more games. I bought it because I'm competing with the sun. So where are we at right now as I record this video? Friday, December 19th. A meaningful shareholder is open to a revised Paramount bid, meaning this isn't a done deal. WBD's board is officially urging shareholders to reject Paramount and painting Paramount's offer as risky and misleading. Netflix is holding firm and preparing the "we're fighting YouTube" narrative for regulators, which means the next chapter is pretty simple. Either Paramount sweetens and cleans up the bid, or Netflix rides this thing into regulatory review screaming, YouTube did it, like a toddler caught with a broken vase. Now, I want to hear from you guys out there, the critical nerds. If you're a shareholder, do you take the more certain Netflix deal, or do you roll the dice on Paramount's higher headline number? Drop your take in the comments below. Don't forget, again, free, helps me out with engagement with YouTube. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as always, if Hollywood wants to turn corporate finance into reality TV, I'm going to be here with popcorn and a spreadsheet. Critical Nerd, out.